I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make.
Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave.
Luke Rudkowski was like, Tim, don't do it. Don't join the corporate press. Because Fusion was basically ABC News, and I was working out of the ABC News building. Whoopi Goldberg would be in the elevator like every day. I'd be like standing next to Whoopi Goldberg and be like, hey, Star Trek was great. And I got to go and like look at the view and everything they got going on. And there's always people outside. Luke was like, don't do it, Tim. They're evil. And then I was like, bro, I'm going to go work for this company. It's going to pay me stupid money. And then afterwards, I'm going to do my own thing for as long as I need to and as long as I want. And with the money I had left over, I was able to just do whatever I wanted. Fly to Sweden, you know. I didn't have as much, like they're paying me a salary. Obviously, I had to pay my rent, pay my bills, and you know, pay costs and stuff like that. But I basically used the money to buy a computer, buy cameras, start setting things up. Took a little while, but I had a savings to live off of. So there you go. There's numbers. And you're probably going like, holy crap, that's a lot of money to be paid by a news outlet. I mean, yeah, and that was low. Like, I didn't negotiate. One of the other guys that worked for Fusion was getting $500,000 a year. A regular journalist. You probably wouldn't even know his name if I said it. I'm not gonna. Some guy never. I mean, he wasn't a dick. He was a nice guy. Like, I'm not gonna rag on him. I don't know what he's doing now, and he's never mean to me. So there's no reason for me to just, you know, throw shade at people. But yeah, no joke. They hire a guy and they're like, "We'll give you $500,000 a year." And he's like, "Okay." That's the kind of stuff they do at these companies. It's mind blowing.
You've seen like mass layoffs at almost all of these outlets by now, though, and that era is definitively over.
Well, you know, to be honest, they weren't making money. You know, Fusion had, I think, I was told $300 million in investment from very powerful interests, and they did not care how it was spent.
Yeah, most of the big outlets are being bankrolled by someone. Very few of them are actually profitable.
Yeah. Well, let's go to Super Chats, my friends. If you haven't already, would you kindly smash that like button, share the show with everyone you know. Become a member of Rumble Premium. Go to timcastpremium.com, and that will redirect you right to Rumble to sign up. Use promo code TIM10 because the uncensored call-in show is coming up in about 20 minutes. And we are going to take your calls and your comments, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We also have the Green Room show. We didn't get one in today because today was absolutely crazy. I was on the phone all day. Just nuts. But we do usually have the Green Room podcast up Monday through Friday, premium members only, plus our feature-length documentaries. Let's grab some Super Chats. The Common Neighbor says, these files reveal water is wet. I hadn't known that. Joe Spinell says, yeah, rogue agents, hook, line, and sinker to all the influencers. That's the front. The files will now be gone forever. There's the cover-up. I think you've all been had. I got to say, people are pissed on X. You know, Mary was not wrong. The anger.
I'm pissed on X.
There you go. That's
That's a happening.
The influencers that came out all smiling and like holding up their binders. I'm like, wow, man, they're getting roasted. Because people are pointing out, it's like you were handed a prop by the White House, walked out into the press, and then you all giggled and smiled and showed off these binders. Not everyone did, but even the people who didn't are getting ragged on. And that's not fair. That's some of the people who were there had no idea, and I respect them. And I'm not mad at any of them. You know what I mean? Like, that's what happens, right? Raymond G. Stanley Jr. says, Tim, do you think the influencer's photo op of the Phase 1 Nothing Burger is the first L of the Trump administration? MAGA is divided on that one. Yeah, maybe. I don't know what they were thinking, honestly. I was talking to a couple of people on the phone, and I said, I think this was a stunt. Like, because they were saying, like, we had no idea this was happening. And I was like, yeah, look at the photos that are coming out, man. It's not looking good. This is crazy. Very weird. Very weird. I wonder what the intention was. You know, I'll just say this: White House. If they want to do stunts that make an impact and work, they should never have distanced themselves from Laura Loomer. I'm not joking.
Have her handcuff herself to the SDNY headquarters.
That is a phenomenal point.
But think about that move when she handcuffed herself to Twitter HQ. There's nothing more to it. It just generated a mass amount of attention on an issue. The problem with this stunt at the White House today is that people feel like they've been tricked. You know, they feel that they've been had. If Pan Bondi just gave Laura Loomer the binder and let Laura go off with it, the news would have been way more favorable to them. It would have been like, where's the rest of it? But still better than whatever this stunt was. C'est la vie. I'm not crying about it, guys. I mean, even though I would say it's not overall a good day for whatever they were trying to pull off, tomorrow is another day and there should be developments. And other than that, I'm way too happy with the Trump administration to be all that bent out of shape.
I really do think, look, if tomorrow there's substance, all this will be forgotten about. If they have substance, if they have some like actual things to report and there's actual evidence that comes out and they have, if there's a substantial drop, or if Internal Affairs kicks in the doors of the FBI office in the Southern District of New York, that will be substance as well.
I'm going to need you, Phil, for this one. James Herenson says, Herenson? Congrats, Tim, on the baby, but it's sad to see that you didn't honor the tradition of watching the show and super chatting while your wife was in labor.
Yeah, he did. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it.
He did. I don't think we read it, but he did super chat.
The chat was
Why
blowing
didn't
up.
you read it?
It was at
remember
like
why.
it was
The
at
least you can
it was at
do.
8:15, and I super chatted $100.
No, I kept looking for it that day and I couldn't find it on the chat.
Yeah,
I scrolled up and down numerous times and it wasn't. showing the chat.
$8:15, $100 super chat from me, and the chat
Yeah.
was blowing up, all saying congrats Tim, congrats
Yeah.
Tim, and
I did.
I'm aware. I also looked at it. I tried to get it. When I went back to and kept looking for it over and over and over again, it wasn't shown. I imagine it was auto-modded by YouTube for they don't want brigading and stuff like that. They see 300 plus. That's what I'm
funny.
assuming because I
Oh.
checked it numerous times. Because I'd seen it come in earlier and I couldn't obviously stop to show, hey guys, just so you know, Tim did the meme. I didn't want to do that.
Yeah. But I did. Kellen said he saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was chatting with people, you know. So I'm sorry you missed it, sir, but of course I super chatted. And it was a crazy story. If you want to hear the story, it's on the Green Room podcast. Which episode of the Green Room one was that? Let me try and pull that one up so I can direct y'all
Last-
in the right direction.
Last Friday, right?
Was it? Well, was it the Green Room? It wasn't the Green Room on Friday. It would have been Monday. Was it this Monday? I think it would have been this Monday. The Green Room, and it was
Yeah, because you were back on Monday.
Joey Manarino. Yeah. So episode Green Room number 88 with Joey Manarino, fatherhood, children, the importance of family. Go to rumble.com/ I'll just pull it up right here. You can see it. Rumble.com/TimCastIRL. Watch this Green Room episode. I mean, the Green Room, it's really taken off. We're getting 40,000 plus views on these episodes. It's
Yeah.
massive. And this is Rumble Premium only. Super cool, guys. Very, very cool.
Chuck's a great conversationalist. Like
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he's great. He's great. He just, you know, he's a genuine guy who's interested in these guests he's
Yeah.
never met before, and then he asks the questions that bring you home. But I came in for the first time after having a kid, and they asked questions, and I answered them. So there you go. If you want to hear the story about how it all went down, it's like it's 3 a.m. and I'm sleeping, and I have this thing called a Sleep Sanity. I recommend it. It is I got an ad on Instagram. Oh, let me tell you about Instagram, guys. I get these ads on Instagram, and I'm just smacking the buy button. No matter what.
Their algorithm is really good.
That
They've
UFO
got it down.
So I recently bought a pair of exoskeleton legs because of Instagram, and I'm like, we're gonna
Meanwhile, I'm getting
Yeah.
like dresses,
Yeah,
makeup.
carbon fiber exo legs that increase jump strength by 40%.
I got pots and pans.
You could be a
man,
basketball
No
player
way.
now.
Made in skillets and
So we're gonna experiment with these things and see how they improve our ability to skateboard, because it's got an AI that like tracks your gait and movement and predicts where you're going, and then motors will help you lift your legs up.
Gosh.
Super crazy. But anyway, I was on Instagram and this thing called Sleep Sanity was advertised to me. It is a headband that covers your ears, and it's not a blindfold. It has some kind of visor screen that when you turn on, it dims. It's darker. Yeah, it's super cool. And then it has orange glowing light around it, which stimulates melatonin production. And the headphones will play whatever sound you want or no sound at all. So I have, before bed, I put this thing on. All sound is gone. And then it sounds like I'm standing in the Grand Canyon at night. It's playing like this wind blowing, and it glows yellow. And then I'm out like a rock. My deep sleep has increased by like 20%.
My husband
drive
has
me
sleep
crazy.
apnea, so I might need that.
You can't hear anything. It's great.
Yeah, because I have earplugs that I put in every night, and I think they damage your hearing.
Yeah. And the best thing is, even though I have them, I'm fairly certain the baby hasn't cried once. I mean, when I wake up, Allison's hair is all messed up, and her eyes have dark rings under them. But that's just, something else.
Hey, Tim, before you get back into it, Hung Kao just posted a tweet from Donald Trump, or a truth from Donald Trump. I'm pleased to announce that Hung Kao will be our next United States Undersecretary of the Navy. Hung
Wow.
is the embodiment of the American dream. As a refugee to our great nation, Hung worked tirelessly to make proud the country that gave his family a home. He went to our amazing United States Naval Academy and later earned his master's degree in physics. Hung served in combat as a special operations officer for 25 years. With Hung's experience both in combat and in the Pentagon, he will get the job done. Congratulations to Hung and his wonderful family. That's a great.
Good for him.
I'm a big fan, and I firmly believe that he would have won if he came on Timcast IRL. But
I
he didn't.
really wish he would have.
Well,
As a Virginia resident.
To be fair, I don't think we actually tried really hard to get him on the show. I think I just tweeted about it one time, and I'm not sure we actually reached out. We might have, but his ad was amazing. Yeah, the knocking on the door, fleeing Vietnam when the communists are coming.
Yep.
That dude's great. Congratulations to Hung Kao. All right, Garrett says, call up the 101st Air Assault, secure the roof, set up man pads to prevent helicopter rescue and secure all entrances. Go through SDNY as a terror cell.
Bro.
Arrest them, he says. Arrest them all. All right. I'm not your buddy guy. Says if evidence and truth matter, Derek Chauvin would never have gone to jail. Public opinion is all that matters. Phase 1 means more to come. Indeed. And Mike Cernovich was talking about this. He said Pam Bondi is doing her best, and I genuinely believe SDNY is a rogue element.
Yeah.
Let's get some of these Rumble rants. We got Torched Medic. If the agency tasked with enforcing the law does not want to do that and instead plays politics, conspire against rights, and go rogue, it's time to send the military to arrest them. No.
Burn the
other
bras.
feds. Military posse comitatus. We don't want to do that.
Love it.
The FBI should arrest the FBI.
Yeah.
There's a tweet that Mike Ben sent out, by the way, with an excerpt from a 2014 CNN documentary
That's
about
cute.
Whitey Bulger. And
Love
it
it.
says how the FBI hides critical damning evidence about FBI informants from outside oversight or awareness by creating separate sets of FBI books for the same informant and then putting the actual damning version in a special eyes-only safe only 2 people are ever allowed to access.
Whoa.
Good job.
So good.
Interesting. Protocaster says a company I work with is pursuing a lawsuit with the DNC because the DNC is refusing to pay their contract from one of the DNC events. Good to know they're consistent, I guess. Well, why would they? They lost the election. They ain't paying nothing. Nicholson says, remind Mary that executive orders are like free samples to let people see what they like, and then help move polling for the laws to get passed. Plus, we need an immediate win.
Free samples. I love
Sam's
that.
love for dinner.
I know, right? That's a great line.
IKY says, you called it, Tim. Media boosting leftist podcasters. Slate article. Who's afraid of Hassan Piker? He's hot. He's dangerous. Young men actually listen to him. Is he what Democrats are looking for? Sure. I
Well,
guess.
Tim is kind
Look,
of
man,
not hot,
yeah,
though.
you're right.
If they want to go ahead and lift up
I think it's
Hassan
becoming
Piker,
more real.
more power to him. It's only a matter of time before
understanding
he
life.
says something else completely ridiculous that is completely out of step with the American people. So yes, DNC, get behind that man, throw a bunch of money in him, and then next time he says something crazy like the United States deserved 9/11, they'll go ahead and you can spread that throughout the country and further discredit your entire political party.
All right. Pinochet says, James Comey's daughter
Pinochet.
prosecuted Maxwell. The trial was a farce, a scripted, orchestrated farce. She prosecuted the case, but
Pinochet's,
kept doors closed and assured nobody would ask questions. Did you guys see that Megyn Kelly insinuated Epstein's alive?
Pardon me?
You didn't see that?
Saying what exactly?
No.
On her podcast like last week, she said she has a lot of information pertaining to Epstein, which you're going to hear from a lot of people,
Oh.
maybe even Epstein himself.
What?
But that's
Maybe-
audio recording
Exactly.
or video, yeah.
But
a lot of people
people
think
are-
that Anthony Bourdain was the body double. I'm not kidding.
They're like, how do we secretly get Epstein out of jail? We need a body double, but the only one is Anthony Bourdain.
Piece of shit.
We have such a striking resemblance from the profile, you know? No,
There-
people really did claim that at the time.
And there's that meme where it shows the political compass, and it's Epstein, Hunter Biden, Anthony Bourdain, and I don't know who the other person was, but they have a quarter of their face in each of them, and they all say that they look kind of similar.
Hmm.
Yeah. Let's go. What do we got? Lucky Chariot says there's files posted to the FBI Vault website. I haven't read through them all, but there's 22 parts. Are people saying there's more that hasn't been released? Yeah, so Pam Bondi put out new information, but it's not incriminating. So there's a lot of new information. You can look at the flight logs, but it doesn't prove anything. So Trump and his family apparently flew on Epstein's plane. There's two stories. One is that, like, he was getting a ride to Atlantic City, and that Epstein wasn't even on the plane. I don't know for sure. The question is, did they fly to the island? That's what I would like to know. And I got to be honest, guys, I don't care if Trump is on the list. Release it.
Trump.
These liberals are like, oh,
Trump
yeah, well,
stated
Trump's
he
on the list.
never
I'm like,
flew
wow,
to,
really? Let me see it.
he's never
Get
been
him.
there.
I mean,
Get him then.
Yeah, let me see the list. I'm here. I don't think anyone's
was?
arguing against that. It's like,
Oh, he's a
What
child
knowledge-
rapist, but he's a Republican.
It's like,
publish the list.
you're not going to hear people say, well, he's a child rapist, but he's our child rapist. No, they're going to say, take him to jail.
We have jail. All right, we got Bill A. who says, I'm a simple trucker from Oklahoma. I think, yeah, it would be nice to know the terrible people who were involved in the Epstein Island thing, but I'm more worried about our economy and the border. That was what you were saying, Mary, and I think you're right. It is kind of interesting that Pam Bondi made this story happen.
Hassan
She
is
didn't
a
have
piece
to.
of shit.
It's a chronically online issue that no one in the real
He's a
world
pussy,
thinks or
too.
talks about. I wish
Yeah.
they would, but they
So,
don't.
This morning, I was talking with Sean, and I was like, we got
You think
this
he was?
transgender story is really big that Trump booted. Like they issued a filing saying all transgender personnel will be
I
separated
don't
from the
think you'd
military.
be letting this
And I was like, is that the big story, or do we just talk
Anybody
about the
could
Epstein
let
stuff
this
because the
out.
files haven't come out
this
yet?
information
and
out.
There's word that documents are
And
coming
he's
out today.
allowing it.
And Sean was like, I don't think people really care all that much about like this ongoing
If he's
Epstein
allowing
story.
it,
Like the
I
views
doubt
aren't there.
he
People
has
don't pay
anything to
attention to
do
it.
with him.
And I was like, maybe we'd be better off waiting until we get definitive information on Epstein. And so I was just sitting here waiting like longer than normal,
And
you know,
he
for news to
campaigned
break.
on it.
and we opted to open the morning
Congratulations.
show with the
No?
the transgender military stuff. Yeah.
I found it so sinister that
He may have a
the
lot of other
phrase
bad stuff.
Jeffrey
that he's
Epstein
done,
didn't
but
kill
I don't
himself
think this is
became
one.
a meme because it started out with people actually stating that in earnest
Hassan,
when they
he's a
had
piece
reason
of
to believe
shit.
it, and it just turned into a meme that meant nothing anymore, and it became a laughing stock.
You don't think
and
that the people,
lost
He
its
thinks he's a tough
context in the
guy.
process.
you think people that say it don't actually believe it?
He's a
What I mean
born
is
rich.
it was said in
was
earnest at
born
first,
rich,
and then once
you know that,
it
right?
became a meme,
Diogenes.
the context was stripped from the statement and what it really meant, and the seriousness of it was lost.
I agree completely.
I think I agree
And
about
I think that was almost intentional. You notice how like none of the Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself memes were censored on social media. They were
They
allowed to
were.
reign free
They were censored on
as
YouTube.
far as I could tell.
I agree that
you couldn't on YouTube.
I agree that it tamped down the seriousness,
may,
but I think it became a meme
cool.
because it
Lay
was
up
so
there on the
obviously
bottom,
true.
right? Diogenes?
I think I'm with you. I think that
I want to
that
see what
it
that
was
becomes
kind of
in-
like everyone
in,
was like, of course.
Mhm.
I really
Right.
feel like
What did he do,
everybody.
like hang himself with toilet paper or something?
Yeah, something. It was. I don't think. I mean, I don't think it was.
I'll
Might
give
as well.
him
It was. It was
30
ridiculous. It was
minutes.
ridiculous. And
Yeah.
you know, the only time
Until they
you know,
cut this off here.
the camera goes off just for the amount of time necessary for the man to shuffle loose this mortal coil, and so
Mhm.
I would like to pull up this here image from Message
post
from the
something for you.
Minefield
Yeah.
of a super chat from Tim Poole. It says, "Howdy, Timcast friends. I'm currently in the hospital waiting for my first child to be born. Let's go. And how dare you impugn my honor?" There it is.
Real fan.
that's right. real fans know.
637 thumbs up. People were saying like, "Woo, you go, Tim." And it was very difficult for me. I mean, I had to sit on a couch and
You're
watch
talking about
sci-fi
Hassan
for like
Piker, right?
12 hours.
Is that how long she was in labor?
So tough. Must
Well,
have been so
all
hard
of
for you, Tim.
all the oh man, my stomach hurt from the hospital food, and I'm like,
It's also like the sympathy pains, you know?
the what?
That's right.
Sympathy pains.
What sympathy for what?
No, but special heartfelt thank you to Allison. She is incredible, and she is currently taking care of the baby while I do work. And she definitely has FOMO because she works here too, and she does all the administrative stuff, so she's always in and out working. But now she's on a small
I got
maternity
something
leave,
loaded up for you.
sort of. I mean, I still see her every day, but baby can't go anywhere just yet. Baby's only a week old, so there's a lot of things that have to be taken care of for baby. And
And that's how I feel.
this is a true story.
I don't care what.
The other day
what
we were
side
watching
you're
The
from.
Five, as I do every day,
You
and
want freedom.
I'm not kidding. Baby was sleeping. Greg Gutfeld starts talking, and she looks over at the TV and opens her eyes, which, for a week old, like the eyes are closed all the time. It's like too bright. And
Wouldn't
starts
surprise me,
just
but
staring at Greg Gutfeld as he
You're
talks.
watching that long.
The camera changed. I'm not going to say to who because I don't want to be mean to them, but baby started crying. And
Was
then
it Jessica Tarlov?
no, I don't think she was on. I think Harold Ford Jr. was on the show at that
Okay.
time. It goes to commercial, and baby just goes off and is crying, and we're thinking, okay, maybe it's a diaper change thing. And then, as we're taking care of baby, it comes back onto The Five, and Greg Gutfeld leads, and baby immediately turns to the TV again, looking, and then just stares at Greg Gutfeld, and we all started laughing. And Allison's mom was like, "She loves Greg,"
She's
and then
enamored.
it cut away from Greg after about a minute of him doing it was like the one more thing or whatever it was. And then baby started crying again.
Oh.
And we were like, I don't know why this baby likes Greg Gutfeld so much, but I tweeted, my daughter knows who the real talent on The Five is. There you go. But I'm not exaggerating in any way. That's literally what happened. We thought it was hilarious. So I
You just
did.
Harold
trust
Ford
my
Jr.
baby,
is
just so
like
you know.
like completely reasonable for a Democrat.
But I think Tarlov and Ford Jr. are fake
Which is a
people.
typical.
Like I'm
Yeah.
sorry, man. Tarlov is a bit more insufferable, with all due respect, than Harold Ford Jr. He does seem reasonable, but how can you sit next to 4 people who are correct and then keep being wrong? I don't get it. Well, maybe we could ask Ian. Ha! I got him. Zing. No, but like for Tarlov, she's sitting there and it's like, yo, they fact checked everything they're showing you. How could you keep disagreeing with them? It's like she's just doing it.
She's rough.
Well, they pay her to be. They're like, you're the heel,
Yeah. Well, it was like the Handy and Combs. Like Combs would sit there and he was there to get beat up, and he did a good job of it.
Let's grab we got time for maybe 1 or 2 more. Based African says Phil is incorrect. Kamala would not have run against JD
More
as
than
he
a
had not
doctor.
been announced yet. Would have gone to RNC runner-up, I believe, Nikki Haley. That's right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, would have gone to Nikki Haley.
Yeah, I
Fair
meant
enough.
to mention that, but I didn't want to. We were already off to something else.
That's fine.
But then it makes me think, well, I don't know, were there interests not on the left? Interests that wanted Nikki Haley to be the nominee?
I don't know.
No one says the story earlier about Andrew Tate and Ron DeSantis was at a press conference called to shine a light on amazing work the Florida State Guard has been doing in the past few years. Rescue, respond, serve. Go FSG. Do you guys hear that Tate's in town? He's in
Yeah.
Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And I
No.
got to be honest, like I don't follow the controversy surrounding Andrew Tate. I've seen some clips, but that's not enough evidence for me to accuse him of anything other than the clips I saw were kind of like they were horrible. But I don't know. What I can tell you is all these conservatives saying don't
Look, I just need to
associate,
clear the air here
stay away
because
from Tate and all that
people
stuff. I'm like,
are
if you
saying
can
that they're
cede
him
this
to
battleground to Andrew
faggot, and they're
Tate
like, oh, no,
and just
she's
let
like
him
in
have
a
the minds of all these young
derogatory
men,
way.
he won. I don't understand what their argument is.
Well,
Yes,
the
I
argument
do,
is that he
faggot.
made his money by doing, by being
By
an
pimping
only
and trafficking.
Yeah, by pimping and trafficking. So like that right there is good enough reason to be like, yo, you shouldn't associate with this.
No, because if he's got 10 million followers that are young men, and you're like, I'm going to show him, I'm not going to talk to him. It's like he's got more followers than you, bro. You need to convince the young men following him, assuming what you're saying about Tate is true.
Eggsy, I have 2
You
six
need to
packs of that
communicate
in
to
my
his audience.
back of my car.
So you need him to sit down with you on your
Long
platform so you can challenge him on these ideas
not
and
kidding.
explain why he's wrong. If you say, I'm not going to associate that with that guy, well, he's already
I love
winning.
that stuff.
He's
I
extremely
love
wealthy.
IPAs.
He's got
I
10
love
million plus
bourbons,
followers
but
just
I
on
love
X
long drink,
alone, not
too.
to mention all of his other platforms. If you just ignore him, you're not doing anything. You're not challenging the ideas. It's absurd to me. So by all means, don't like the guy, but you have to enter the arena of ideas and debate for your victory.
Yeah,
I'll give you one. Andrew Tate said on X, men should have as many kids with as many women as possible, and you're a conqueror. The Western world and the greatest civilization known to man was built by monogamy. That's it. That's a fact. It's not an opinion. So all these young men out there that are agreeing with him on that regard, he's not correct. He's got some good talking points. But again, I don't really follow much of the controversy around him. I don't know.
Yeah, there was like my thing was like, look, when you say, go and have as many kids as you possibly can with as many women as you can, like that doesn't raise children. And we need children that are raised in families that are well adjusted. Like, be a father. That's how you win.
Indeed.
Not by just, going around and inseminating women.
Yeah,
We're gonna go to the uncensored call-in show, and if you'd like to join us, go to rumble.com/TimCastIRL and sign up for Rumble Premium, because this show is exclusive, but it's gonna be fun. When we're over on Rumble, it's not so family friendly, but it's always fun and funny. We hope to see you there. You can follow me on X and Instagram at TimCast. Share the show with everyone you know if you do enjoy it. Amber, do you want to shout anything out?
Yeah, just follow me on social media at Amber Marie Duke and check out the Daily Caller, dailycaller.com. Thanks, y'all.
You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Mary Archived, and also go subscribe to Pop Culture Crisis. We go live every Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern.
Listen, validation is what
new
Instagram is for,
Right.
and criticism is on X. So,
But also, please like me.
yeah.
I really just want you to like me.
I am Phil That Remains on Twix. I'm Phil That Remains Official on Instagram. The band is All That Remains. Our new record dropped on January 31st. It is called
All That Remains
Anti-Fragile.
is
You can
actually
check
a
it
good
out on
band.
YouTube, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Spotify, Pandora, and Deezer. Don't forget The Left Lane is for Crime.
We will see you all over at rumble.com/TimCastIRL in about 30 seconds. Thanks for hanging out.
No, we're not. We're not really. Hey, guys. Let me pull this up. Then we're going to go over I'm going to look around, but here we go.
Look, I just need to clear the air here because people are saying that you hear me say faggot and they're like, oh no, she doesn't mean it in a derogatory way. Yes, I do, faggot.
It's not the one. Here it is.
I am sick and tired of faggots. Can't post anything on social media because somebody's offended with some crayon flag in their bio. Faggots! They got like this furry, tooty, pornography crap. Faggots! Can't even get an email. Because when you get an email from a business, a corporation, whatever, pronouns in the signature. Faggots! You got homos buying children. What kid wants 2 faggot daddies? Faggots! What happened to the closet? Is the closet just public square now? Faggot!
I like that one.
Trump won, and we couldn't do nothing about it. And that's it. I can believe that I can't fuck it.
New York every night, yeah.
Why 2 yogurts?
Protein.
How much protein is in them?
Each one has 12, I think.
12?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Really?
You should try Skyr. Icelandic Skyr.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
I really like it.
Skyr.
It's hard to find cherry.
Oh, okay. That's your flavor. Gotcha. I just go vanilla or like cinnamon. It's good stuff.
How do you spell that?
Yeah.
SKYR, I believe.
SK. It's an I, but it's a runic I.
There you go.
SKIRR.
Delicious.
Siggy's is the popular
I
brand.
don't know how.
This is great,
I'm not
too.
paying for this. I don't know how I can get in here.
It's a little bit thicker than
I
Greek
think it's
yogurt,
just
not
'cause I
quite as
have
tart.
Rumble Premium.
Oh, Siggy's. I think I have that.
Yeah, it's really good.
Skyr. I'm
I
pretty
have
sure I
more.
had that when I went to Iceland.
I have so many videos.
I think
that
I
I haven't dropped.
Skyr. Skyr. What a
But
weird
you got
word.
loaded into the program.
I'm trying to
and
get
let
to
it play.
180.
It
I'm
sucks.
174.
There's so many I want
Close.
to delete.
You're working out?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, there you go. Yeah, and so I've added cherry juice.
Delicious, right?
Yeah, so it's a natural anti-inflammatory.
Mhm.
So I asked the robot, ChatGPT, I said, I want to decrease
Hey,
soreness. And it
Diogenes,
said
have
ice
you-
plunges,
have you
cold
seen the,
plunges, and tart cherry juice
SAFO
before bed to
video
assist with
yet?
recovery. It
The
said eat
AI
cottage cheese, fruit, and
AI
drink tart
video
cherry
on it?
juice. And I said, really?
Go around and
That's
find
very
out.
specific. So I ordered a fuck ton of tart cherry juice.
I'm a big fan of tart cherry.
But can you
Tart
say
cherry
it?
juice.
But I told Raymond not to put it in the regular fridges because people are
Wow.
drinking them like soda pop.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, the expensive organic full price cherry juice is for the worth that. Not for just a shit and just us. That's not that's what we've got.
Great too.
See, this is what people pay big bucks for, to hear us lightly news about our
Some stuff, man.
I like putting butter on my butter. In fact, I
can't believe you ate butt with all the health stuff you got going on.
I mean, I typically didn't until I watched, like, so, recently not in but Family Guy was on it, saw one where he walks into a crack fire and he sings a song and they were put on a Pop Tart. And when we were leaving the hospital, because I didn't eat Pop Tarts until about 5 years, we should come down. And we brought them home, we buttered them up in the air, and we realized that was delicious. And so then when I'm telling the story through that potato, I was like, okay, fuck it, I'm buying it back. And so I literally like, yeah, load of Pop Tarts for the office. Now we have a whole bunch of delicious
Yeah, I think there's like a split out. They're like, oh, yeah, yeah. And then the thing was, I reached, last time I had a Pop Tart was actually 2 weeks ago. It was my first Pop Tart in like 5 years, but I was, there's just something. It was freezing cold because of the ice. You just bring like all kinds of fat. With Pop Tarts, we were heating them up on like the propane heaters and the lime.
Okay, so
Real redneck shit.
in, next week, we've got 2 shows I'm really excited for. Hopefully, my ectoskeletons like Spider-Man. And, oh yeah, increase like strength by 40%.
Me and Tim are both sitting where you the show jumping up and down.
I'm into it because the commercial shows the guy running and jumping, and I'm like, and it's got pages, so they're like commercials.
Wear them on a trampoline.
You have a toilet? We do, but I'm on skateboard.
You already have it.
I want to break. I'm gonna break the skateboarding off the wall. But you did this. It weighs like 2 pounds. That's big with it. But it's got electric motors that can assist with pushing your left hand. So a lot of the jump force comes from a small portion comes to the cross. When you look up real quickly, but largely it comes from one foot in skateboarding mine is my right calf. That's what I'm talking about. But if I can get even a 10%, I can break down the road there.
Wouldn't that be an assisted elevator?
It's not gonna do the bit. It's assistant.
I mean, just need sports league that means
Yeah.
Nice. 100 miles an hour at speed.
The other thing we're doing is that Julia never had a bike, and we're legal in the road. So we're going to, yeah, like the chemicals that are poison in that. That's why I bought the Pop Tarts. I'm like, just come. We're gonna do it. You get a thing of that flowers, where you ingredients are like milk, cream, sugar, salt, or whatever, like vanilla. And then take a knife and you cut. And you take that slice of ice cream and you take it into 2 Pop Tarts. You know it's delicious.
Yes.
It's all
I'm
AI.
pretending I don't hear it because I don't. I'm,
Amazing, huh?
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go to callers over here. Let's see what we got. We are Discord is frozen on us. All right, Discord froze.
These names per week are crazy.
All right, we got Benatius Burelius. Welcome to the show.
Hey guys, that was a good attempt, Tim. Thanks.
All right, good.
Appreciate
I'll take
you guys
it.
taking my call. You know, I'm a long-time caller, first-time listener. My question for the panel was, how long does this Doge momentum keep going forward? How much energy is actually behind it, and when will it lose the public's interest?
Elon's allowed to be hired, I think, for what, 6 months?
I don't know.
Yeah, it goes until. Well, the last I saw is that at least through the end of the year, December.
Can he be rehired? So say
I don't know.
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. And I'm loving the people that are like, it's a conflict of interest because he owns companies and
Yeah,
he's dealing with
well, we'll
regulation.
see,
and I was
man.
like, dude, it's a conflict
We
of
all have
interest
to
for
roll
any
with it,
American
you know?
to be involved in the IRS because
We'll
they all
see
pay
what
taxes.
happens.
Shut the fuck up.
I mean, we have no control.
stupid.
You know that.
But I mean, look, they will. People have
always,
been
we
making
have no
the
control.
most
Just when they were
absurd,
trying to mandate
ridiculous
the jab.
complaints about Doge. Anything they could possibly come up with, they're saying, "Oh, it's bad because of
gonna
this.
cut
Oh, it's
out
bad
on,
because of that."
YouTube,
Just
though,
because
bro.
they don't like Elon Musk and they don't like Donald Trump, and so anything they do is bad.
heading
Well,
over
Trump
to
should try to
just,
keep Elon for as long as possible because he's
just,
proven to be a pretty effective shield from media criticism
Yeah.
because all of the attention is focused on
I'd
Elon.
really like you to
And
come
Trump
over
now
here.
has the very unique position
Whatever
for
name you
probably the
come over
first time
with.
in his life of getting to be the good cop.
I got like super roasted for admitting that I have Elon derangement
D.
syndrome last week.
You know what I mean?
And in my defense, I never
There's
said
no
anything
defense.
bad about Doge. I only said that I dislike Elon
Yes.
just because of who he is, and there's nothing he can do to control that.
But everybody knows that Mary is only saying that to save face, and she actually has a big crush on him.
Oh,
I think that I'm his type, but not the other way around.
What was
I actually agree with that. I agree with
somebody?
that.
There was a really funny tweet, and I forgot.
You're
who
a
it
woman,
was.
so.
It was wait. It was Melissa Chen. I'm pretty sure. The tweet. Someone tweeted that there's a conservative activist to Elon pipeline through X,